Hi guys, good evening and welcome back to my channel. It's Marvin and so first things first, you would notice that there is a significant difference in the quality of this video. I mean the visual quality, right? Compared to the last one. And that's because I finally invested in a new phone. I got the Samsung S22 Plus and I think the quality is pretty good, and yeah. So the next thing on my budget would be to get the mic, and I think I'm loving this content creation journey. Though I'm not a content creator, I don't want to be referred to as that. So yeah, to give a rundown on how I spent this week. So from the video on Monday, I said I was going to look through what I was supposed to do last week that I couldn't finish doing, and then I was going to focus on that this week. So that happened to some certain extent because I overestimated how much I could actually get done this week. So now this is the thing. If you've been following this video from the last two videos, I made mention of starting an agency, and little by little the puzzles are starting to come together, and I believe by this time next 2 weeks, everything should be all set and good so we can start sailing. I'm just excited for what this next phase is about for me. Like I've said before, I have no idea if this agency will be successful. I'm just going to do everything that is humanly possible and just leave the rest to God pretty much, because this is going to be my second time building a business. The first time I tried building a business was when I was 18. So I launched this trading academy. Now this is a story for another day, right? So now I'm just trying to start again and kind of see what I can do when it comes to running an online agency. So as I'm also doing these things as regards my social media marketing career that I'm documenting, I would also be taking business courses. So I recently laid my hands on a particular course. So it's something that my mentor shared to us on his email list. John Obidi is his name. It's an MBA related course. So I'm going to be taking that, and there's also one other course as regards business. So I can just have an idea of what it is to actually run a business. But I think currently I have like a solid foundation, I would say, right? So yeah, but there's always room for growth, and one can always learn as we progress, as we grow. Yeah. So this week I would say I really spent most of this week working on the agency content strategy. So there were like multiplicities of skills that were coming into play. Things like having to know the things like storytelling, understanding the brand narrative from the very first post, how we want to appear to be to our audience, how we want to position ourselves. So what these things are stuff that I'm trying to just pour out from my head. Given that I've taken extensive courses, I've taken trainings as regards social media marketing. So I'm just trying to grow a business and simultaneously master my skill when it comes to social media marketing. So yeah, this week was quite an interesting week. Learned, studied, did a little bit of digging into what influencer marketing is all about. And one thing with social media marketing that I've always said, if you've been watching the previous video, is that they are like compendiums of skills, and if you pick them one after the other, eventually they will all come together. So you'd have to be a very, very good content writer, a content creator, maybe somebody who is good at creating things like graphics. Now that is not my strength. When it comes to that kind of thing, I would outsource it to somebody else. But when it comes to writing, I know I have a solid grasp on writing. So things like writing, things like designs, things like following a strategy when it comes to posting, knowing the tone that you should use, knowing engagement strategies. So these are they're like different things that are just coming into play when it comes to social media marketing. And that's one interesting bit about this thing. It's going to really test your intellect, I would say. But yeah, so this week for me was quite productive, and I spent most part of this week though working on the agency I'm trying to build. And yeah, I had clients work that I had to get going, and for one of my clients, right, because what I do for her is related to to this agency I'm trying to start. I'm going to also try to lock in on her own part. I'm going to be bringing up different strategies as regards what I currently do for her and test it with her to see what comes off of that. And yeah, if eventually I can pick one or two of the strategies that I'm about to test, I'll now also carry it to the agency that I'm trying to build. So it's quite a packed quarter for me, and I believe that in time everything would come together. So that will be pretty much everything for this week. Thank you guys for staying true to this very point. Bless.